Have you ever had a big, shiny dream, something you were so excited about that you just had to share it with everyone? I used to be that guy. My name is Alex, and for the longest time, I was the king of announcing my plans. I thought sharing my goals would keep me accountable, that the encouragement from others would be the fuel I needed to succeed. But what I discovered was something completely different, and it changed my life forever. My first big dream was to run a marathon. I was in my early 20s, full of energy, and I wanted a challenge. The moment I signed up, I posted it all over social media. Alex's marathon journey begins. I declared. I bought all the gear, took selfies in my new running shoes, and shared my training schedule. My friends and family were amazing. "You got this, Alex. So proud of you." The comments poured in, and I felt like a superstar before I'd even run my first mile. The first few weeks were great. The public validation was intoxicating. Every like felt like a pat on the back. But then, something strange happened. The initial excitement started to fade. I'd skip a morning run, telling myself I'd make up for it later. When friends asked how the training was going, I'd say, "Great," even if I hadn't run in 3 days. The praise I'd already received made it feel like I had already accomplished something. My brain had been tricked by the social recognition. The marathon date came and went. I didn't run it. I told everyone I'd injured my knee. It was a lie, a small one to cover a bigger one. I had given up. A few years later, I had a new dream, to write a novel. I'd always loved stories, and I had this epic fantasy world living inside my head. This time, I thought, I'll be smarter. I won't just announce it, I'll share my progress. I started a blog, The Writer's Forge, where I'd post excerpts, character sketches, and world-building details. Again, the initial response was incredible. People loved my ideas. "This is going to be the next big thing." One comment read. I was invited to local writing groups, and I spent hours talking about my book, the plot, the magic system, the tragic backstory of my hero. I spent 2 years talking about my novel. I had detailed outlines, character family trees, and maps of my fantasy kingdom. What I didn't have was a finished manuscript. In fact, I'd barely written past chapter 3. All the energy I should have been pouring into writing was being spent on talking about writing. The act of sharing and receiving praise for the idea gave me the same satisfaction as if I'd actually written the book. I had become a master at performing the role of a writer, but I wasn't actually doing the work. The project fizzled out, another dream lost in the echo chamber of public opinion. I felt like a failure, a fraud who was all talk and no action. I started to notice a pattern. Every time I shared a goal, I lost the motivation to pursue it. It was like letting the air out of a balloon before it had a chance to fly. I stumbled upon some research by a psychologist named Peter Gollwitzer, and it was a light bulb moment. His studies showed that when you announce your goals to others, your brain gets a premature sense of completion. The social recognition tricks your mind into feeling like the goal has already been achieved, which reduces your motivation to do the hard work required. This phenomenon is called social reality. My entire life suddenly made sense. So, I decided to try an experiment. My next big dream was to learn to code and build my own app. It was a huge undertaking, especially for someone with no tech background. This time, I told no one. Not my parents, not my best friend, not a single soul on social media. It was my secret. My precious, private goal. The silence was deafening at first. There was no one to cheer me on, no likes to validate my effort. There was only me, my computer, and a mountain of tutorials. Every night, after my day job, I'd disappear into my little office and code. It was incredibly difficult. There were countless times I wanted to quit, to throw my laptop against the wall in frustration. But this time was different. Without the external validation, the only thing that could keep me going was internal drive. The only satisfaction I could get was from actually solving a problem, from writing a line of code that worked, from seeing my app slowly take shape. The process became a quiet, personal journey. My motivation wasn't fueled by praise, but by progress. Each small victory was a private celebration. I wasn't performing for an audience. I was building something for myself. The dream felt more real, more tangible, because it existed only in my actions, not in my words. After a year of silent, relentless work, I launched my app. It was a simple productivity tool, but it was mine. I had built it from scratch. The day I finally posted about it, It wasn't an announcement of a plan. It was a celebration of a finished product. The reactions were completely different. Instead of "you can do it," I got "wow, you did it." The respect and admiration felt earned, not borrowed. This experience taught me the most valuable lesson of my life. Treat your dreams like a fragile flame. When you expose a tiny flame to the world too soon, the slightest gust of wind, be it criticism, doubt, or even misplaced praise, can extinguish it. But if you protect it, shield it, and nurture it in private, you give it the chance to grow into a roaring fire that no one can put out. This doesn't mean you should become a hermit. It's about being selective. Share your goals with a trusted mentor or a partner who will hold you accountable, not just applaud you. But the world at large? Let them see your results, not your resolutions. Let your actions speak so loudly that you don't have to say a word. Think about your biggest dream right now. Is it a secret? Or is everyone on your friends list aware of it? If you've been struggling to make progress, maybe it's time to try the silent approach. Pull your goal back in, hold it close, and work on it in the quiet hours when no one is watching. The satisfaction of revealing a finished masterpiece is 1,000 times greater than the fleeting pleasure of announcing a blueprint. Protect your flame. Do the work. And then, show the world the fire you've built. Thanks for watching.